Hello, just doing a quick video here on a BC Rich ST3. As not exactly as how we bought it. I have some photos later in the video of the guitar before we went at it, but just a guitar project. I found this guitar at a local guitar shop. It had an EMG 81 in the bridge. And it looked to be a really old one, and I'm pretty sure it is. It's from late 80s, early 90s, the pickup is, and so is this guitar. So it looks like it was modified to have the active pickup pretty much right away when it was new. So guitar itself was, I think, about $150 with the pickup. That's what I really wanted. So got the pickup out of it, and I put a Entwistle Dark Star in it, which is actually also another excellent pickup. I'll have a playing demo later and kind of show it through all the modes and stuff. So yeah, the humbucker is an Entwistle. Middle pickup's just a dud. I broke off the ceramic magnet in the back, so it's just sitting there to fill the hole. And I used white just as contrast. I was going to use black, but I just used something else to catch your eye. And this one, the original BC Rich pickups. This guitar, I see other ST3s made in Korea have a bezel with 2 screws and then 2 adjusting screws in the middle. And also the humbuckers in those pickups are the 3 screw, which was around for a while in the 80s. 1 here and 2 screws here, so you can adjust, like a Telecaster, can adjust the kind of front back level on side to side as well. This one has the Floyd Rose. Hopefully it'll catch up on camera. Kind of a entry level. Oh, is it symbol? Entry level Floyd Rose pickup. Just stamped steel. It actually works pretty good. I like the adjusters on this one. It doesn't take much movement, so you can like drop D on your E string without, you know, too much trouble. A few twists and you're in D and away you go. So you just have to bump them, which is kind of bad in one way. If you do bump them, you're out of tune, like by a noticeable amount. But to get into tune, it's just a couple turns or you know, quarter turns, and you're really moving the adjustment of the string tension. Has a 5-way switch in it, like it did from factory. I used a CRL, just what you find in like a Fender Stratocaster metal switch in there. I have another video that shows the wiring. I had a whole bunch of buzz and humming problems with the guitar as I wired it. And it turned out to be, when we did all this painting, we painted over the original cavity paint, which was conductive paint, and didn't ground to it. So that was the major thing. Plus, the original 5-way switch was a hunk of shit. So it's those plastic switches that just, if you ever see one, just throw it away. It's just garbage. So that wasn't helping either. That had shorts or opens in it, and then it was just a big disaster. So new switch. I have it in the other video, but you know, foil tape your cavity or paint it with good connector and ground it to the ground pins on your input jack. So anyway, the bizarre thing about this guitar is, of course, the fretboard. Just Roman numeral it by hand, just for fun. Could have stenciled it or bought decals or whatever, but just did it by hand. And I routed the living heck right out of it. So, like your Richie Blackmore, Yngwie Malmsteen, it's all scalloped. But I didn't use a file or hand sand it or anything like that. I just took a router with a half-inch square bit. So, and then went at it. So just hacked out the larger frets, and when I got to about the 12th, I used a 3/8 square bit and hacked them out too, all freehand. I did touch one fret. Where did I touch that at? I did as carefully as possible, but one of these frets, oh, this is this guy here. Anyway, one of them I just touched with the router, and it you know, vaporizes your fret. So as soon as you do that, you're fretless. So very carefully, just went back and forth, hogged them all out, got rid of the rosewood, and then went after with a sander, sand them all, and then went after with by hand, sand them all again. So it takes a bit of effort for sure, but easiest way to just get rid of the wood, just use a router. Another ones I've used kind of a die grinder on a drill and drill them out. And other ones again I've used a round file and I've used a sander, but it's just like, let's just hog it out. So just got the router out and away went the rosewood. It took out so much I was worried that the neck would bend, but it's hanging in there, so you know, removing that much rosewood, I thought, oh, it'll make the neck weak, but it's still pretty stiff. Like, you know, actually, I'll show some neck bends, but it's hanging in there. String tension, I did put light strings on here, just 9s, so I purposely didn't want a whole bunch of string tension on here in case it did weaken it, and started pulling it forward once you tuned it up. So I did that. The tuners are stock from, so yeah, this is the ST3 Platinum series. So it's just you see the neck's strange, it's all solid, get my hand out of the way, solid piece of wood the whole way, but then there's a cut here around this area, so a different piece of wood for the actual headstock, which is odd. Usually there's a scarf joint around here, and use a different angle of wood to get the neck angle, or sorry, headstock angle. But this one they cut it here, and that's fine. It would have said, or it did say platinum when I first bought it, under around there. It said BC Rich Platinum. I painted over that, left the BC Rich, and I really like this locking nut setup. It's the way to go, I think. If you're locking nut behind a regular bone or plastic nut, so when you come down the first fret, that huge freaking locking nut is out of your way. It's way overbuilt. You don't need this much metal to lock a string, but that's still common. It's still being used nowadays. I wish they'd have a locking nut that's much more refined and better than that. Humongous bolts and stuff you don't need. Doesn't take that much pressure at all to lock the strings. Anyway, so I like that. And then now with the frets all scalloped, the thick paint and stuff you don't need to come close to. And if we were to bend a note, let's see, where's one? To push it all the way down, you'd be so sharp it's not funny. So you just write it on the rails basically, which is nice for bending. One thing I did do, I wanted to clear coat an ebony board because I've never seen it done before. Of course, all maple boards have a clear finish on them, or rose board, sorry, or ebony do the same, I guess. But yeah, so I just, to clear over it, I painted it all after I did my final sanding and cleared the whole thing, frets and all. So that was a bit of a mistake, because now it's pretty good now. I've gone through them all, but the odd fret will still have some clear coat on it. So you start bending, it's like, you know, feel some stuff chunking away, and then finally it'll be good. But anyway, that, no big deal. But just to kind of save time, I just cleared the whole thing, and of course taped the sides and stuff. So good original. It is an older guitar, so I wanted that old weathered look to it. This can have been played quite a bit, which is another reason why I scalloped it, because the frets were worn down a bit and they're very low, maybe, you know, like a 1 mil height on them or something like that. So you know, just thought, oh, this is a good candidate to scallop. And your typical bolt on, there's a plate, definitely not made in the USA. It's BC Rich trademark plate, and there's the serial number. It's hard to date it at all. There's a little bit of information, really scour the internet on it, but basically made overseas and in the late 80s to mid 90s. But definitely entry level. Without, it's got the simplest pickups and mounting I could find, and just your basic tuners and stuff. So definitely not a USA made BC Rich. So I don't think I hacked up a collectible guitar at all. It's just a good project guitar, and it has a string on the back here because it's a true wall hanger. So I just have it hanging from the ceiling in a room just to as kind of a decoration. But in saying that, it does play good. It had the original splitter switch here, which I replaced with a cutout, or yeah, kill switch, and volume and tone. I used a 0.047 microfarad orange drop in the tone, and it really worked good. I'm surprised. I thought it'd be too dark. Maybe I should use like a 0.3 microfarad, but the 0.47 worked pretty good. So I'll have that in the plain demo, and also all the switching of the pickups. So it is a bit different. There's a certain way this switching will work to split the pickup and everything with the 5-way switch. Oh, actually I have it right here. This is what I used. Somebody thankfully took a Seymour Duncan drawing and added in some extra wiring notes to use the 5-way switch. So there's what will happen basically. You get your bridge, split bridge, etc., etc. So this is on the internet. Hopefully it'll be clear enough. You can pause the video and use it if you would like, but it definitely works great to use all your splitting without a splitter switch, just the 5-way standard switch. Okay, that's about it for this video. I would guess I'll probably have something else and put it in after, but I'll play it a little bit and I'll have my son play it just so you can hear it. But it was a lot of fun. We did this together, so good project, kept us busy in the winter, and it looks different. You'll never see anything like this. So yeah, good project. You have a great day. It's using a Fender Mustang 5 head through 2 Marshall cabs. Let's back it a little bit. So the 5 head has a stereo 2 outputs, so that cab and that cab. And settings are an ACD setting and a Metallica setting. This humbucker with the tones. Position. So okay, humbucker, both coil. Humbucker split. Humbucker coil in series with single coil and other humbucker coil in parallel. I don't know what that all means. Single coil and split humbucker. Single coil only. And back to humbucker. Yeah, so pretty good with the tone control. That's a 47 orange drop. Oh, and